name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So it's been about a week since we got the news of the casting of Jinkx Monsoon for some kind of major role in the upcoming series Doctor Who, and it's news that I don't think went down very well. I think it's fair to say the news just not really went down very, very poorly. I am not happy about it. I am much better with it than most of the people watching this channel, right? I think that's fair. People are apoplectic, absolutely apoplectic. And I don't think they really realize why. It's more of an instinctual thing, because I think drag is the actual flashpoint where society is tearing apart, right? Drag, is it kindness and self-expression to let children not indulge. I think that's a pejorative word, not indulge. Take part in drag, or is it child sex exploitation? Right? It can't be both. Right? It can't be both. And I feel it's child sex exploitation. That's my feeling. And I feel that my feeling isn't, my feeling, but I don't think that feeling is an unfounded one, and one based in bigotry whatsoever. I would love to have more open conversation with about this. If you're somebody who would like to talk on the side of drag, that'd be great, right? Side of drag in Doctor Who, that'll be absolutely great. You know, I have no problem with that. It will have to be on Rumble, because YouTube will spike my channel. If we have generally a non-hateful, open, non-pejorative discussion, which we so desperately need, which is why I think places like YouTube don't want there to be a discussion, because I think if these things do get discussed, then the outcome they want isn't what they'll get, right? So essentially, I think that, right? So I think that why do I think that's my prejudice? That's my prejudice based on we all have our prejudices, but if we can have a conversation, I think it'll be much better for all of us. The suppression of one, I think, is a big problem. Anyway, I talked about this last night on a live stream. This was on Easter Sunday. Yeah, that's quite apt. I was talking about on Easter Sunday. That'll be April 9th. I'm not sure when this video is going out. It's kind of like an evergreen video. I don't think there's going to be much movement on this over the next week or so. So I don't have to rush to get this out to be relevant. I think it's going to be relevant for a while. Again, it was really seismic, much more to the rest of the world than to me. But anyway, I broke down the issues on my live stream last night. Come and join me on a live stream. Come and join me on Rumble. Rumble is awesome. Rumble, I get, 5-6 times the views now. I was getting 3 or 4 times the amount of views. Now I'm focused on Rumble, getting 5-6 times the amount of views. My channel's growing there. Rumble is my channel of choice. Head over to Rumble, sign up there. I'm also on Twitter. All my video content's there. Also on YouTube, obviously. YouTube will probably be the first to go, right? But yeah, it's everywhere. You get, YouTube. I think it's basically, look at the video, it's all there. Sign up my Substack, my email newsletter, and you'll find where to find me. Yes, and I'm sure your life will be so much freaking better. It will be better for it. It will be better. I like to think I offer some additional quality to your life. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, comment. Come and join us on the live stream. We take the bits, we have fun, we talk about stuff, right? We talk about stuff that we found, that we dozy if you join us. So like, share, subscribe, comment. Now, let me head over to me from last night. Okay, fine. Here's what this person said. Okay, so don't get me wrong. Jinkx coming from Seattle is lefter than Bernie on the wrong side of every argument. But I refuse, and I really do. I absolutely refuse to moralize our political differences. Let's say we disagree on everything. I don't give a shit. That's not how I'm going to evaluate you as a human being, right? So I think this is okay. But big in capitalism, but he loves Doctor Who too much and is too talented to screw up the opportunity. Rusty Davis may be provocatively virtue signaling by casting, but if you want a chewing the scenery villain or hero heroine, Jinkx can do that with panache. Here's the thing. I'm uncomfortable with a drag character. Yes, I think in terms of drag, there can be erasure, right? Okay, in terms of children's orientated television, and I know there is a history of it with pantomime dames. I understand that, right? And it's with a lament, because I think drag has been usurped by not such good people, all right, to acclimatize children to adult sexuality, right? I've seen too much video examples of that. I think anytime you have a child, a male child, wearing heels and makeup and dancing in a a provocative manner on a any form of stage, I feel that's child sexual exploitation, right? I don't think that child can give reason consent to do that, right? That's just my take. Yeah, I don't think there are. If you can't give reason consent for sex, you can't give reason consent for that, right? Much the same with gender reassignment surgery. Again, I really want to reiterate: if you're a boy, right, and you have gender reassignment surgery, you will never have, as far as I understand it, you will never have sexual gratification, right? You will never experience sexual gratification. Now that's pretty darn heavy, right? It's I mean, because they remove your dick essentially, which is where you have your feely bit, right? Which is one of the best bits. Anyway, and they make a kind of a pouch, so you can simulate having sex as a female, right? But you don't get any pleasure from that, right? You just get, sexual. So you're never, ever, ever going to be able to have a sexual, gratification, right? It's never going to happen. Now, I don't think anybody can ever give reasoned consent for that, right? And that would be the only reason I really vehemently would oppose Jinkx, right? I mean, genuinely. Let me see. Now, somebody left me a comment as well. I should have saved it. Let me see if I can find it. We'll do search. Should I say Jinkx? Okay, hopefully it won't be that too many in. Fine. So this is, I think, a pro comment, right? Somebody commented on one of my video. Drag is many things. We don't need to make up our minds what it is, because it's not something that can be put in a box. Well, here's the thing. If it can be put in a box, which however broad it is, will include child sex exploitation, we need to. Okay, I need to make sure it's not in a box that includes that. Because if it can include that, that's a no-go. Then we're not. That's no, and I'm sure you would agree. And I'm sorry, it's not me that blurred the lines, right? It's not me that did like the drag story hour, right? It's not me that's having sexualized drag workshops and shows to minors, right? I same way I wouldn't be on board with them watching porn either, right? I don't think it's a. I mean, even like, okay, or go to a strip club where they keep their they have to keep their bottoms on, I believe. It's a non-naked strip club, right? I'll be like, I wouldn't condone that either, right? It's or a stripper doing a strip show, keeping their clothes on, right? Keeping like little bits of their clothes on, right? I don't think that's right, right? I think we need to desexualize children. Or not, here's the thing. We were all kids. We all worked out how to have sex, okay? Like, nobody needed any help, right? I mean, we all needed help. But, like, we all kind of worked it out. We all needed help, but we all kind of worked it out. We don't need it. Look, all I'm saying is it's got to be safe, right? Safe for my children. And however, what is it? So it really is important to know what it is. Is it a sexual identity? Because then it gets put in a category. Is it really a sexual identity? Because it feels like it isn't, right? So yeah, you may not need to make up your mind, but I need to make up my mind because I have responsibilities for my children not to be sexualized, right? It's incredibly reductive to call it sex work. Well, yeah, that was actually the point, right? I was saying we need to define it because we could define it many ways, some of which you wouldn't like, right? When that's just one niche in an incredibly versatile art form and community, much like it is in any community. But I don't see nearly as many people losing their minds about that. Again, I would ask this person, if they have children, right? Because I don't want I don't want my children raped, right? I don't want my children sexualized, right? I think that's wrong. That's like I don't want anybody doing, right? If I may be so bold, right? It's yes, if I may be so bold. Was it? I know I got another woke production says Varys on Rumble. What does that mean? Blessed Easter for real Christians. Well, I think blessed Easter for everyone. I would say. I mean, like I'm not. As you may know, I'm not a Christian, but I wish you all yes, whatever the correct greeting is. I genuinely do wish that to my Christian brethren. Anyway, so yeah, we're reading this comment right about it. So yeah, I mean that's really the mismatch, right? We need to be able to be. This is serious matter, right? This is you're messing with my kids, and no, right? I need to be. We need. This is new territory, and we need to make sure it's safe. This is not 1976 Panto with Danny LaRue, okay? If you need some kind of reassurance, so there are many different types of drag queens, and Jinkx is what is referred to as a comedy queen. So this actually is reassurance to me, right? Actually, it genuinely it is. Because I think Ralph C. Davis understands these nuances, even if I do not, right? And so he's saying, yeah, it's a what's it? It's a comedy queen, right? I understand that, but I know there was a couple of drag queens that went on the Doctor Who. What was it again? Experience, not experience. The live interactive show thing that was shit. That closed. That had a mysterious water pipe burst. Like, oh dear, you're losing money, right? Oh no, dang, we can't lose money anymore. We got to collect the insurance. She's a comedian and an actor with lots of wit and talent. She's got a lot more than just man in a dress. Okay, with a smiley face. She was also absolute delight and no way a threat to society that people think that drag is. Well, again, up until recently, I wouldn't have argued with you, mate. I genuinely, right? I wouldn't have argued with you. But right now, it has been made. Maybe you don't know about it. I mean, look, that's the thing that amazed me. I had these cousins from something like that from nieces, nephews from, adult ones. They're from Washington, right? Who are really in the Beltway, in the Washington circuit. And there's a couple of things they said that they just don't know shit. It's incredible, right? And it's shit that you go, well, if they don't know, maybe it's not true, right? And you go and look at like, what was it? A couple of things. Like he didn't even know about ballot harvesting. I'm like, well, that's the reason the Republicans got the majority in the in the House, right? Because the ballot harvesting operation they just started up then, which is now much more advanced. But he didn't know anything about that. Didn't know anything about Ashley Biden, the Ashley Biden who there is clearly enough evidence of an investigation if she was sexually abused by anybody, including her father, Joe Biden, right? Because her diary they found seemed to indicate it was. But when they actually found the diary, the person who tried to report it, sent it in, they sent the FBI after them and intimidated them with lawsuits. So that's only who they found in a halfway house who was mentally ill. They sent the FBI after them to intimidate them. And like, how disgusting, right? No idea about any of this, right? Just it's incredible, right? I think blew my mind. I said, well, look, we can agree that Trump was bad for America. I mean, again, look, just reality is reality. All that world peace and money in that incredible country was kind of nice. I like that bit. You know, I think most Americans did. I think most people did, right? And like you cut, that's like as truth. It so smacks you in the face you can't get over. I mean, like now the adults come back in the room and they fucked up. Here's what Trump was. Trump is much more so. He is a threat to the agreed lie that the more educated are our betters. The expert class know what they're doing, and they don't. They're idiots. Look what they've done. Look what they've done to the world, right? Look what Trump did because he wasn't an expert. These experts are morons, right? And that's really what Trump was. He was something that demolished the myth of the expert class. Because the expert class, again, overeducated morons. So if you equate America to the Washington expert class, then yeah, he was bad for America. If you equate America to Americans, he's probably quite good. And by the way, anybody ever wants to come on and talk to me about it, I really don't know. I mean, I won't go as far as say he was the perfect president who did everything. He fucked up all the time. Like, all the time. He, like, Mr. Magooed his way through a lot of it, right? Wonderfully entertainingly, right? But he was generally speaking right about everything, right? It's been proved right about everything, right? When Germany laughed at him and said, oh, no, there's nothing wrong becoming reliant on Russian oil, Russian oil. There was actually nothing wrong with it at the time because I don't think America was trying to steal the Russian oil trade, which it is now, apparently. Anyway, let's get back to this comment. I was wondering for Jinkx when they announced this because exactly this kind of response. Yeah, look, this needs to be contextualized and we need to talk about this. And I'm sorry that drag has been used in these ways now, right? I really am sorry. I just go and look at libs of TikTok, right? Which is nothing doctored or edited about that, just reposting people's posts, right? It's shocking. It genuinely shocking, right? And that's why a lot of people think it's like some kind of con. It's not real because it's so shocking and it so destroys, the not the leftists, because it's not leftists, but any belief in like the geopolitical system, right? It just does completely. And again, up until that, everything was groovy. Shouldn't have had Drag Queen Story Hour, right? That really wasn't good for your cause, right? That really, nobody gave a shit about anything until you started insisting it was for kids too, right? At that point, it was like, wait, what? And I showed a clip yesterday of this woman being screamed down and harassed by this mob. Apparently, she was a world-class swimmer speaking about women being erased from sports by transgenderism in sports, and being again harassed by this awful mob. It's just like the most awful people in the world. Look, what can I tell you? It's not cut and dried, mate. That's what I wanted to tell you. So I was worried for Jinkx when this was announced, this person writes, because of exactly the kind of response. People who clearly don't understand drag, making unnecessarily harsh judgments straight out of the gate. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And this has been rolled out atrociously, right? This has been rolled out absolutely atrociously. I agree with you, right? And again, I don't know. Anybody thinks like drag with any connotation to children nowadays is bad. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know what Disney's telling you, but it's bad. People can just learn to have an open mind. Again, for God's sake, this is so tiring. We're talking about my kids. I'm sorry. Again, nobody cared until it brought kids into it. I mean, really, that is the absolute truth. No one gave a shit until, you had to involve my kids. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.